video, we're going to talk about the basic beginning fundamentals of working with your dog. It's important to find a marker that you want to use for your dog. A marker is anything you want to mark the correct behavior with. This could be using a clicker or could simply be saying yes. Marking your dog's behavior lets your dog know when he will get paid. It's important to use high-value treats when you're training your dog. These should be something that your dog does not normally get, such as pieces of cheese, pieces of cooked chicken, pieces of hot dog, or other dog-friendly foods such as pieces of watermelon with no seeds, pieces of apples with no seeds, carrots, or any other high-value treat that your dog enjoys. It's important that your dog is invested in you. This means that you have to be more important and more exciting than the things around you and your dog. In order to create focus in your dog, you have to have your dog's attention. This means all eyes on you. You want to make sure that you're exciting enough for your dog. So if you're using the marker word yes, you want to be a little animated when you're using this word. So instead of just saying yes and giving your dog the treat, you can go yes! Give your dog a treat. This can be a little tricky because if you're too animated and too excited, you can create too much excitement in your dog, and this can cause your dog to make poor choices. When you're working with your dog, you'll know what level of excitement that you can be most consistent with. This will be the level that your dog can still be excited and pay attention and still not overly excited that he's going to break command. One way that we can create focus and attention with our dogs is by keeping your dog on a leash to start. This way, if your dog gets a little sidetracked, you are still in control of the situation. You'll want to be using a leash that's about 6 feet in length, but no longer than that. And you want to make sure that it's not too short. So depending on the size of your dog, between 4 to 6 feet would be most ideal. Now comes the part where you need to practice your patience. What you're going to be doing here to help create focus and attention from your dog is waiting for your dog to look up at you and make eye contact. The minute your dog looks up at you, you're going to use your marker, whether it's a clicker or the word yes, and mark the behavior. Then you're going to give your dog a treat. You can create engagement by luring your dog and letting them follow the treat. By doing this, you are allowing your dog to move around so that you can set them up for more success, rather than just having the dog sitting planted in front of you waiting for the next treat. Creating focus and attention is all about consistency, practice, and repetition. It's important to have a list of goals in place before you get started. This can help you understand what behaviors you're looking for and what behaviors you're going to find unacceptable. Being prepared for rewards and punishment are very crucial. You cannot have one without the other. They go hand in hand when you're training. You can look at it this way. Let's say there are 3 chairs in a room. Chairs A, B, and C. I invite you to have a seat and you choose seat B while Karen chooses seat A. I say nothing and walk up to you, hand you $1, and then I turn to Karen and pinch her. We take a break, and when you return, you and Karen sit in the same seats. Again, I walk up, hand you $1, and pinch Karen. We take a break again, and this time, Karen sits in seat C, and you remain in B. I walk over to you, give you $1, and give Karen $5. What chair will you sit in next? Your obvious choice is to make a quick run for C. However, B will always be a good choice as well. You see, seat B was good until you saw C had a higher value to it. When we are training our dogs, it's important to give out rewards for desired behavior and giving a correct punishment for the unwanted behaviors. Remember, the lack of no is yes. Most often, owners tell me they don't want to train with treats because they do not want the dog dependent on treats, but rather to depend on them as the owner. My response is, go to work and tell your boss that you do not need to be paid. You are happy to work for free. Seems a little silly, doesn't it? It's crucial to find a payment that holds enough value to your dog. The beauty of using high-value treats is that over time, you fade them away. As the treats slowly disappear, your praise, touch, and energy become just as valuable because your dog has learned how to work with you and trust you. No payment equals no incentive. Why would your dog want to listen to you when they can run over and chase the leaves blowing in the wind? That is much more rewarding for your dog. In the dog world, you have to earn your value to your dog. This means a promise to pay out. There are other ways to become valuable to your dog as well. For instance, set up rules, boundaries, and limitations. Get a structured schedule for your dog in place. Dogs thrive on schedules. You are the main source for feeding your dog. You show your dog how to focus, have confidence, and be an acceptable part of society through training. These are all very important keys in not only setting up your dog for success, but for becoming a valuable leader to your dog. Punishment is just as crucial as rewards. I will say it again. The lack of no is yes. If your dog jumps up on you and you just put your dog down, your dog is not learning anything. Well, maybe except that it's a fun new game of wrestling. You have to make the act of jumping up uncomfortable for your dog. Some dogs are so excited about any kind of touch that shoving your dog down and off of you can actually increase the intensity of the next jump. Did you know one of the main reasons dogs are taken to the shelter is because they jump on people? This can be a dangerous action that can lead to serious injury or even escalate the situation to something more. So through the act of punishment, whether you are giving a knee to the chest, using a prong collar and leash, using an e-collar and so on, you are using clear communication for your dog to let them know that this behavior is completely unacceptable. It's important to understand what kind of rewards to use, how to use them, and when to use them. It's important to understand what kind of punishment to use, how to use it, and when to use it. Both of these go hand in hand. There are acceptable ways to punish behaviors. This is especially true for certain behaviors. Rewarding a dog with attention can reinforce a behavior, not an emotion. The same can be said about a punishment. A punishment does not make a dog afraid of you. It makes the act of what they are doing stop. If you are a parent, you know that by punishing your child for acting out, that your child doesn't love you any less. You are creating a well-mannered child to become an acceptable citizen in society. Timing is important when we're giving out rewards or corrections, but it is okay to make mistakes. We are human, and it's only natural if we do. Don't apologize and don't beat yourself up about it. The best thing you can do if you make a mistake is just take a step back, take a deep breath, and try again. And if you or your dog are struggling, it's okay to seek out help. Find a local trainer who can work with you one-on-one, or contact a trainer who might be able to set up a phone consultation to help you. There are many different ways to training, and every way can lead you to success. Remember, you and your dog are a can-do team. Thanks for listening to this episode of Canine Conversations, and I hope you have a pawsome day.